Brings us to one of our favorite spots, venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Chicago Bears. Fall is in the air, and the NFL season is in full swing, and we're underway here in Week 4. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
A huge play there right off the bat. 44 yards on the ground. They had trouble stopping the run last week at a loss, and here it rears its ugly head early.
You're supposed to try and get your confidence going after a loss like that where you gave up big yards running the football. This is not the way to go about it. It looks exactly as it did just a week ago.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. On first, they go right back to Howard. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Defensively, Sam Hubbard, the former Buckeye, there to stop him. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now Winston. Open man is Trey Burton. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 23 yards the pickup there.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. A gain of 6 there on first. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys in plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. It's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
Trying to punch it in with Howard. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Leads to 2nd and goal at the 3-yard line.
They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. Here's the second-year man from San Diego State, Rashad Penny. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. This Bears defense trying to hold on. This is 3rd and goal. From the gun, Winston. Dancing to his left. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. So they opted to pass for it on 3rd and goal. Let's see what they do on 4th and goal.
Well, I think they threw it with the idea that if they didn't get it, they would go for it on 4th and goal. So they've got another play in their pocket. They're going to have to call it right now. No field goal here.
Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
The Bears take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Ready, 95-56. I know he ain't got it. Bang, 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 bang.
They'll run with a third-year man. This is Tariq Cohen. Pretty nice move, but not a ton of space there. They stop him shy of the 25. Justin Simmons up from his safety spot to make the tackle.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 23-yard line.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
You're good, you're good. I'm full, ready. Switch. Hey, break it down, fellas, break it down. Watch the whip.
From the gun, it's Breeze. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. The sack by Robert Quinn.
And that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack, and that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Under 10, under 10.
On 3rd and long, it's Breeze. Gets it to Benjamin. It's caught. He's at the 40, 20, 10, and he takes it down deep into enemy territory. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. We'll see a lot of that from Drew Brees. Spread the field, get rid of the ball quickly.
He spreads the field out a lot, so he's able to recognize the defenses, the coverages, and if people are going to blitz him. And he has the fortitude to stand in there when they do. He serves as his own blitz control, so to speak. Hey, you've got a free runner coming. That's one less guy in coverage. He'll stand in there, take the hit, and deliver a strike downfield.
Brings up 2nd and goal at the Vikings 4-yard line.
From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal. The first carry now. This is Johnson. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Sammy!
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Back in Chicago, ready for the 2nd quarter. It's the Bears in possession as they'll see what they can do on 3rd and goal. Can this Vikings D hold up one more time? 3rd and goal. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
And now out comes Minnesota. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23.
Let's put them on the buses. Let's put that team on the bus.
To throw, Winston. Middle of the field, it's Robinson. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
Ready?
On 3rd and 1, here's Winston. Out to the left there and complete to Howard. And he will have the first down, but he winds up paying for it pretty good.
It's a gain of 3.
3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Ready?
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Set the tone, defense. Set the tone, defense. Let's go.
Trying the right side with Howard. Luke Kuechly, the all-pro linebacker, in on the stop.
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks, just like a quarterback would on offense to get him into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that finish? Holding that to a minimal gain.
19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
A gain of 19 yards.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
Winston in the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Now it's Penny running right. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Winston out to his left. Looking left sideline, incomplete. Trey Burton, the one he was looking for. And it's 3rd down. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays, I'm eking over into your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, and we're not talking about our on-air commentary. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass, I'm going to try to tighten things up here for this next play. Try to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. It's the Pro Bowler Luke Kuechly that picks it. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. The head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13.
Jake, kill.
Shotgun now for Breeze. And his pass incomplete. The safety, Keanu Neal, there to knock that one free.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line.
At their own 7-yard line.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And the interception last time on the opponent's side of the field, certainly not what they wanted.
put it mildly. That is so frustrating because that signifies there's a drive going on. You're in a good spot, great place to run some of your best offense. Instead, they turn the ball over.
Yeah, turned the ball over last time. See if they can avoid doing it here. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They'll run with Penny here out of the shotgun. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. The Vikings on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Working out of the gun, Winston. He's got his man, it's Williams. And he gets it to the 30 when it's all said and done. 21 yards there on 3rd down.
And that was a heck of a shot right there by Jameis Winston. Boy, he has a superior right arm, doesn't he? You saw him play baseball.
Yeah, he's actually a switch hitter in baseball. Outfielder, and then, of course, a very hard-throwing pitcher. That's translated well in the National Football League.
That it has. When he has to make that throw on a line, he's got plenty of arm to do it.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys.
Jameis to throw it. Now he'll let it go deep left side. And that's incomplete.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. To the air again with Winston. Buying time to his left. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. On the return is Cohen. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Bears take over. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Breeze. And he finds Danny Amendola. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. It's caught outright, Amendola. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. From midfield, here's Breeze. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. That sack by the DN, Danico Autry. Needs something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Here's Riley Dixon now. as he'll kick it away for the second time. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down to close. All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Ready. Yellow lady, over. 50 to Mike, 50 to Mike. Watch the run.
They'll start the third quarter with a run by Cohen. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. It's Ross Cockrell that time that made the tackle.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that, Tote.
Looking for Funchess, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Keanu Neal. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10.
5 on the 50. 5 on the 50.
Winston. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. They'll run for it with Penny. And this is going to come up well short as they stop him on 4th down. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And the Bears will get the football back. The Bears in good field position to start out 1st and 10. They'll start things on 1st with Torrey Cohen. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized.
Check 52.
On 2nd and 9. Breeze. Room here to run. Past the 20. 10. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. So a dangerous pass over the middle into zone coverage, and it bit him hard.
And what's really difficult when you throw it in that direction and versus that zone, that means the linebackers have gotten to their spot, gotten their heads back around, and they can see the quarterback and everything in front of them. And they took big advantage of it, went the other direction, excellent blocking, and picked up a touchdown.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line.
Set. 95-56. 50's the mark. You ain't doing nothing today. You ain't.
Now Breeze to try again after the pick six. This one complete to Devin Funchess. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
And the Bears first down.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Check.
Here's Breeze to throw. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Give the sack to Blake Martinez. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Breeze now. And the pressure gets to Breeze as he's taken down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10.
At their own 16-yard line.
Ready. Flag. Check. You know it. Watch the call.
They go with Howard to begin the drive. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down.
First down, Vikings.
Two times. Hey, 4 down.
Now it's a bootleg with Winston. Steps away. This one out left to the tight end, Burton. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
Check. Watch 54. Check. Let's go.
On 1st down, they run with Howard. And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. Desmond King making the tackle.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Winston. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. This is intercepted. Picked off by Adrian Phillips. And they will finally get him down as he's all the way to the 36-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. So it'll be 2nd and goal when we return. We've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal.
Hey, whoa. Easy, opposite.
Here's Breeze. And he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
3rd and 15 here after the 1st and 2nd down plays went in the wrong direction. Bree's going to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
And Zerline's kick is good. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get it the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
After the made field goal, Zerline back out there now to send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20.
Ready. Blue ready. 59. Drop deep, drop deep.
They'll start on the ground. It's Rashad Penny. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Fresh out of the locker room, they hit him with a gain of over 20.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation when they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
54 is mine. 54 is mine. 54, block 54. Let's go.
The first down throw for Winston. Going for the deep ball. That's caught inside the 20. And finally, he is out of bounds, but not before taking it down near the 15. Now, we know this offense has the potential to strike quickly, and they just bit off 2 huge plays on back-to-back snaps.
So on the other side of the ball, you've got to go Band of Brothers thought process. No one left behind. No pointing fingers, no accusations, because if you don't, those quick strikes we just saw, they become long-lasting.
That's a gain of 4 as we slip inside of 4 minutes left in regulation.
At the Bears' 12-yard line.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now Winston. Flushed out right. Fighting it. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. Jameis Winston. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. Gano the extra point, and the lead is now 17-3. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And he is out of bounds here on the return.
At their own 25-yard line.
95, 56. 50, check my 50. I got you, boy. I got you, boy.
Breeze now on first down. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Robert Quinn picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. To throw is Breeze. And the pressure gets to him again. Danico Autry able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back at the 2. Brian Burns. The offensive line is in tatters as that's now 3 sacks in 3 plays. Here's Riley Dixon now. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
At their own 43-yard line.
Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10. Winston here to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43.
54's Mike. 54's Mike. Check. Watch 54.
Throwing, Winston. Going up top. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
On 3rd down, Winston. He's got his tight end, Burton. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. Give him 4 on the carry there. It's 2nd and goal. Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1. Winston sneaking it. And I don't think he got in. The big bodies up front held him at the 1. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Winston keeps it himself. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire second half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them to just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that determination and a pretty good game plan, pretty good idea of what they wanted to accomplish, just love the execution, love the tenacity, love the way they finished.
So for Minnesota, it'll be a .500 start as the win gets them back to 2-2. And they'll have another road date next week with the New York Giants. Meanwhile,